My name is Katie Reynolds, but this is not my story. You'll join me and the team as we learn about conservation and responsible volunteerism in Costa Rica. Our journey will reveal the excellent work being done to save wild animal populations and how you, the viewer, can help contribute to these causes. So this is our mission. We are going to travel Costa Rica from top to bottom and highlight those organizations that are working hard to preserve and rehabilitate wildlife, and the sanctuaries that may need your help. You'll hear from the heroes dedicated to the cause, and this will help you and future volunteers make informed choices. This is Volunteering for Wildlife. This is Brian Gow, producer of the show and founder of Wildlife Conservation Channel, a channel that produces wildlife films for conservation and video on demand. This is Alex. You may have seen her on Saving Sarabi, a film that reveals the cruelty of trophy hunting.
How long does the volunteer
She'll be interviewing the
stay
experts and volunteers along the way. So climb aboard and let's explore the best of Costa Rica. Day 1 takes us to Kids Saving the Rainforest, outside the city of Quepos. Alongside the beautiful Pacific coast, it was founded by two 9-year-old girls in 1999, designed to educate people about the ecological importance of the rainforest. We were lucky enough to look behind the scenes with rehabilitation volunteer Mark. He's here for 9 months but plans to become a zoologist.
So yeah, what's the skill that you need to have to be a volunteer?
Literally just enthusiasm and love of animals, really.
Mark takes us to the kitchen to prepare enrichments.
This is what a lot of our volunteers do with the morning: prepare the food, go down to the sanctuary and feed it, feed all the animals, change all the waters, clean all the cages out, and then when the afternoon comes, it comes back to again. So the feeding usually takes around until about 10:30, and from then it's all just about enrichments. So you can see we have a lot of ropes and we have various different plastic containers and things, all of these. So they also get lettuce hung on this in the evenings when they get fed. We try and feed as much as we can in like a natural way.
And after collecting hibiscus flowers, we head to the sloth enclosure. As we make our way through the sanctuary, we learn just how many species Kids Saving the Rainforest cares for.
Comes up to this mirror and release them. Okay. So we've given them a bigger cage. So this is our clinic, this is our vet, and the other clinic intern.
Hello.
Hi.
We just finished treatments and now we're just enriching. So now we're just doing some organizing things since we get a lot of volunteers. And everybody always is new. So we put like labels, just people find things easier.
The vet clinic is responsible for larger procedures, like amputations, and they help determine if and when animals are equipped to return to the wild.
I can't believe us.
We talked to another volunteer to determine if Kids Saving the Rainforest is a good fit for you.
What skill do you think a volunteer needs to have?
Like the will to work, because it is a lot of hard work.
Why did you want to volunteer?
Well, I'm a clinic intern, so I study I study vet tech, and I'm a vet tech student in Belgium. So I'm mostly in the clinic and doing helping with treatments, but we're also in charge of cleaning rehab and quarantine. So it's a bit of everything. We do the food prep for all our clinic animals as well. Clean the cages and stuff. So.
Very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
The owners have a great story to tell of how it all got started, and we encourage you to check out their website. Our next stop is a fun one. Manuel Antonio National Park is located in Quepos on the Central Pacific coast with many offerings for volunteers seeking relaxation on their days off. The park is rich in wildlife.
This is a great day. Well, every day is a great day, but it's a special day because this is the first day that this trail is open to public.
Okay.
All right?
For the
Why?
first time.
For the first time.
Today?
Today.
Wow. So,
Yesterday, all the people, I don't know if the president came, but all the highest authorities about environmental and all these the ministers, they came and opened and make the inauguration. So today is actually the first time
so that's because they've only recently finished this work. Is that what you mean?
anybody's going to be able to walk it.
It is well worth the fee to hire a guide to help you find the hidden species throughout. Like Manuel here, a rich source of information.
They refer to us as the Galapagos of the North, because all these species that are found just here, nowhere else in the globe. That's why we're here, to see some of this biodiversity.
Yeah.
Costa Rica is not even 1% of the planet, the surface, with an estimate 5 or 6% of the biodiversity.
Wow.
That's why it's pretty special. Yeah. This is the most popular national park in the country, and one of the most beautiful too. The combination of elements: easy walking, full of wildlife, beautiful beach, safe beach for swimming, where you can swim, where kids can swim, family friendly.
That's amazing.
All you need to do is to keep an eye on your things, because those raccoons and monkeys are watching us right now. Everything you want to see, we have a lot of monkeys, sloths, we have a beautiful beach,
Yeah, this is
full of wildlife.
This is so beautiful.
Costa Rica, we have been doing a lot of conservation, protection, so this is why we're here.
As our day concludes, we take in the beautiful sight while we prepare for tomorrow's journey. El Turas Wildlife Sanctuary is located about 45 minutes south of Quepos. The views from the hotel next door are breathtaking, and we spoke with the operations manager, Loyal.
This sanctuary actually started 3 years ago. It was 3 years ago in December. At the time, there was another sanctuary about 2 hours south of here. They ran into some financial issues, and they were going to close the doors. At the time, they just didn't have a place to bring all these animals. They had 20, 25, 30 animals that they just couldn't find homes for. There aren't sanctuaries. The sanctuaries that we have here in Costa Rica aren't big enough. They can't take 30 animals at one time. Yeah. So the owner of a local hotel heard about the plight of these animals. He was familiar with the sanctuary down there, and he was generous enough. He donated all of the land and all of the funds for the infrastructure and the enclosures for these animals. So we're separate from a hotel, but we're a nonprofit organization, but we're eternally grateful to the owner of the hotel. Here in Costa Rica, the laws are very strict as far as who can and can't interact or handle the animals. The volunteers here do most of the maintenance, most of the feeding. So they do enter inside of the enclosures with the animals, but we limit the handling of the animals, especially the animals that are set for release.
Okay.
We try to minimize all human interaction. The animals that are here permanently, once again, we try not to upset their natural behavior. We try not to interact with them a lot. They've really got some good laws in place to protect the wildlife we have here. On our website, alturazwildlifesanctuary.org, we have the volunteer application form to where volunteers can apply. An internship program as well, so we get a lot of biology students, veterinary students that want experience with the animals. We have researchers come here to do research. We have people who've never worked with animals in their life come here to volunteer. We had a 3-generation family that came and volunteered here not too long ago. It was a grandmother, a mother, and a daughter. The daughter was, I think, in her late teens, early 20s. The grandmother was in her 70s. So we always have a super diverse group of people here. It's hard work. It's really fun, but it's hard work. It's not cuddling cute baby sloths all day. You know, there's a lot of cleaning. There's a lot of feeding, working in the kitchen. One of the most important things our volunteers do here is environment enrichment for the animals. So they have to go out to the jungle and collect materials to make enrichment items for the monkeys and the parrots. So there's always a good mix of tasks that need to get done here. The majority of the funding comes from the tours that we do here. We have tours 6 days a week here, and also our volunteer program.
So you're here for how long?
Total of 3 weeks.
Nice.
Total of 6.
Nice. So do you like it so far?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, no,
This is what I want to do
that,
forever. Yeah.
Loyal gave us a glimpse into a routine task of collecting banana leaves from a nearby enclosure.
It's kind of precarious, but on that hill there's some bananas.
Perfect.
We can cut
We
those.
cut the banana with that. Don't stay next to me.
The shell is moving around.
Okay, I'm gonna cut this one, okay?
Whoa, it's long.
More of a wild feel, I guess, towards their enclosures.
Keep them stimulated too, and make sure they're doing the more natural behaviors.
We also met Julieta, a parakeet who was dropped off anonymously. She may have been raised by a family with young children, as she cries like a baby, laughs like a toddler, and sings songs, many of which the staff are unfamiliar with.
Cante. En la jaula lloró. Cante. Dame más agua. Más agua. Agua. Uy. Uy. Uy.
Drake Bay is our next destination. With very little transportation from the capital San Jose, we found an inexpensive option from Siepe by water. The river is traveled by locals and tourists alike. We arrive just before sunset, and we prepare for an early start tomorrow. Day 3 takes us to Corcovado National Park, one of the world's most biodiverse regions. Volunteers have one of the best opportunities to spot wildlife here, including puma and jaguar, if you're lucky.
So now that we are in Corcovado National Park, Sirena Station, it's very important to pay attention where we're gonna be. Very important, the trail is gonna be wide, as you see. Really dead, it's still fresh, for example.
Once again, our guide Adrian provides great information
like raw, dead, for a while. Being in there.
and keeps a keen eye on our hike.
Exactly.
The only way that people can walking around here, it has to be with the tour guide.
Beetle in the jungle. Look at it. Right here. Arlequin beetle. In the male. That's amazing. Yeah, so these guys eat these birola seeds.
Serena Ranger Station is deep in the jungle, where all the action is. Accommodation and meals are provided for, and rangers are permanently based here to monitor and manage the precious ecosystem.
For 2 weeks sometimes, or 1 week.
1 or 2 weeks maximum?
Yeah.
They cannot stay longer than that?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes 1 week here in this station, and another week in another station. SINAC de Puerto Jiménez, o hay unas fundaciones como ASMO y el otro que es Proyectos y Voluntarios, que son dos programas que trabajan al SINAC en esta área, o directamente con la oficina en Puerto Jiménez.
¿Qué tipo de diferencia hace un voluntario aquí?
Algunas veces la compañía, a la ayuda en los trabajos, porque a veces sabemos, como hoy, que solo soy yo, entonces podemos hacer trabajo en conjunto.
Adrian goes into a little bit more detail about the accommodation.
The rooms are pretty much no walls. It's very fresh. Our bunk beds, so we're using mosquito nets as a walls. And because it's very hot, as you see we're surrounded by nature or forest. In that area you can see the stars, so sometimes you can pull your mattresses out and watch the stars. Yeah, exactly. So, but it's safe. It's very safe. Yeah. 4 over here and 4, 5 in the other sector inside. So that's pretty much the accommodation that we have in one platform. There's another sector, there is another platform like this with the same amount of bunk beds.
We head up the coast to the San Pedrillo station for a stunning waterfall hike. You never know what you'll find out here, so stay alert and enjoy the scenery. And the swim. On day 4, we climb aboard with Sierra Goodman of the Divine Dolphin Company, which has been providing life-changing opportunities to encounter wild dolphins and whales in their natural habitat of the Osa Peninsula since 1998, as well as conducting marine research with local and foreign marine biologists and volunteers. The world-famous tours are a combination of natural and wild beauty, education, research, and lots of fun. Once we make it 30 miles offshore, we run into hundreds of spinner dolphins, famous for their acrobatic displays. While there are a few theories, no one really knows why they spin the way they do. Guests have described the feeling of bliss, intense joy, emotional release, and deep relaxation. We decided to jump in and take a closer look. We then spoke to one of Sierra's volunteers.
I've been passionate about wildlife and particularly cetaceans all my life, and I just felt the real call of dolphins. And we met Sierra she liked very much the way I was on the boat with the animals and the people, and offered me would I like to volunteer. So a day in my life here is really supporting Sierra, making sure that the meals are okay. All the tourists that go out, that's sort of helping, because some of the money is paying for that research, and it just feels wonderful to be volunteering and being part of conservation. It's very well worth volunteering. I love it, and if I can do something to just help conserve this planet and this wonderful wildlife, both in the ocean and on land as well, then I'm there, and I'm happy to do it and give my time to it.
Back on shore, a local taxi was our only option to our next destination. Puerto Jimenez. The adrenaline from this drive could barely prepare us for what came next. While enjoying the moon rise over dinner, a 4.9 magnitude earthquake struck just miles offshore from our hotel. The Osa Butterfly Farm in Puerto Jimenez is about a 2-hour drive from Drake Bay. Colleen Spurlock runs the Butterfly Park and oversees the volunteering efforts.
I love this entrance so much. It's you can just come out, sit right here, and you see the herons, and always the Jesus Christ So this one goes way up high, so we'll get different species from even when we put it all the way up there to like the second level of the canopy. This is the group.
How long have you been here?
2 weeks now.
2 weeks?
Just about.
Where are you from? California.
So you enjoying it?
Oh yeah, learning so much every day. Everything from the trails to rearing the butterflies to
Compost, weeding.
life skills like making kimchi and kombucha. Just yeah.
They're great workers. We really appreciate it. They've been wonderful. Yeah.
Okay.
So a butterfly project is really a plant project, because if you have the plants, then the butterflies just come. Right after they come out of
The Butterfly Park gives volunteers an insight to the process of breeding butterflies, which includes classroom sessions and lab activities.
Inside, but outside. So we collected this one as caterpillar, and then we know how many days it took to go to pupa, and then when we can record the day it became pupa, then we can know the number of days that it took to become an adult. So we record all of this, we have a lot of data, and then we can do a little research study on that once we have more data.
We stopped by the International Migratory Bird Festival to provide awareness and fun for the whole family. We spoke to Rob about the importance of volunteers to macaw conservation.
One of our associates, Chris, he's the main guy, he's the expert in the parrots. He started a project about 10 years ago now in Costa Rica, and that was a project that was a rescue center and a release site, and he's responsible for releasing many of the scarlet macaws and green macaws around the country that were rehabilitated. We also breed birds for release in other parts of the country where we're trying to restore the original populations. So volunteers come to work here at the center to get to work directly with birds and help us to rehabilitate them and breed. Absolutely, we need volunteers to help us with that, especially now we have many birds. A lot of birds are coming into us that are injured, wild birds that have a broken wing or something that get brought into us. So it's like a little animal hospital. We have a little clinic and we try and rehabilitate them as well as we can. In the past, 100 years ago, there were scarlet macaws all over the country. Now they're just in little isolated pockets here in the Osa Peninsula. It's the biggest wild population that's left. We're helping to restore and rewild the rest of the Pacific coast again with scarlet macaws.
Las Pumas Rescue Center is located in the northwestern town of Canas, about a 3.5-hour drive from San Jose. We spoke to Simon Nakara, who has spent most of his life devoted to the cause.
In conservation, you don't have to be a veterinarian or a biologist or a zoologist to make a positive and valuable contribution. So in order to be a rescue centre here, you must have a resident biologist and a resident veterinarian. There are various prerequisites. So we have an excellent resident veterinarian, Martha. I'm sure you should speak to her at some point today. She's top level. I mean, she's absolute expert in cats. You could get engaged in tasks of all levels here. And to me, that's what volunteering is about, actually. I mean, from the beginning. When I've been volunteering, I've volunteered at more than 10 different zoos and rescue centres in Central America, not just here, I'm in Mexico and Guatemala, Honduras, and South America too. And all I just say is, what can I help you with? Whatever needs doing. Fortunately, a lot of our cats that you see here today were pets at some point, so they actually do appreciate that to see people and human visitors. They actually enjoy it. And the ones that don't, they hide out of the back, and we try to make their enclosures big enough and with enough hiding places. Yeah, well, Obsessionist was the most successful of 23 fragrances that were tested in an experiment by the WCS at Bronx Zoo in 2010. What they did is they tried with very many different species of wildcats, and they tried spraying not just perfumes but other scents as well onto posts to see the reaction, engage the reaction of all different species. The Obsession was found to be extremely successful at stimulating certain species of wildcats, particularly jaguars and ocelots. Doesn't work so well on pumas and jaguarundis. I mean, they're different cats, they evolved on a different continent, they're more recent arrivals. But so it was a great discovery by the Bronx Zoo, fantastic. And so I never don't have a little bottle of Calvin Klein on me, just for those moments when you see a cat that's stressed out. So I just got a stick and sprayed some Calvin Klein's Obsession, put it into his cage, and immediately snapped him out of it. We're down to 200 and something jaguars by the best estimates we've got. You know, when I arrived here, 25 years ago, there were 500 jaguars in Costa Rica. So, the population has halved, it's been decimated. So Bruno was found by hunters about 6 years ago, and they took him from the wild. Very probably, I don't know whether they killed his mother or whether he was just being left while his mother went to get food. We're not sure. So, I'm his best friend, but not just me. He loves any people. He loves all people.
The sanctuary is home to over 160 animals in different stages of recovery. Some may never be able to be released back into the wild. Simon plays a pivotal role at this non-profit organization and is always looking for volunteers. Now that you have seen some great projects to volunteer for, we look at some of the fun things to do in Costa Rica. The list goes on and on. And there's truly something for everyone. We hope that you've been inspired by this episode, and we encourage you to reach out to the sanctuaries directly with any questions or donations. If you've enjoyed this episode, please spread the word and watch out for more episodes like it. This has been Volunteering for Wildlife.